Okay, good morning. I'm Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez. Welcome to our Mission Area Division Station, where we are inviting the public to be part of the solution. Last year, and as we've continued to experience, fireworks continue to present a major security and public safety risk for our hillside communities, but frankly, throughout the city of Los Angeles. Not just because of the imminent fire danger that it presents, but because of the trauma that it inflicts on our animals, on our seniors, on our veterans. And we're seeking the public's help and support to be part of the solution and making sure that we are getting these illegal fireworks off of our streets here in the city of Los Angeles, and that we are encouraging the public to participate in one of the beautifully orchestrated public events that we're offering here, not just in the San Fernando Valley, but are offered throughout the city of Los Angeles. It just so happens that we have a few phenomenal public, free firework programs, displays, and celebrations that we are going to be having over the 4th of July. And while we know that it's not just occurring over the course of the 4th of July, that sadly these are explosives that are utilized throughout the course of the year, we're really seeking the public's help, particularly because of this incredible drought season, to be even more vigilant in reporting these incidents where these fireworks and these explosives are being used. Because we need to do all that we can to deploy the preventative measures that will help ensure public safety for all residents here in the city of Los Angeles. Tragically, in my first 3 years of office, the first term in office, in the first 2.5 years, I had 3 major wildfires in my own district. Thankfully, we haven't had mass evacuations since those incidents, but we're trying to avoid more. And while we have seen the continued increase in wildfire spread, we want to make sure that we all do our part to help get these explosives off the street. Last year, as a result of my collaboration with members of my community, as we were putting our heads together trying to figure out how are we going to help encourage and incent the public to turn these fireworks in, last year we, in a matter of weeks, organized and pulled together, with the support of local businesses and residents, the first illegal firework buyback program here in my district. We did it in conjunction with our Mission Area Division, with our fire department, and with the public support. We harnessed a record 1/4 ton of illegal fireworks, where there were teachers that had confiscated these fireworks from their students. Parents, while the kids were at school, went and brought these fireworks over to us, and returned, based on the quantity, the weight, the caliber of the explosive, they will get in kind a valued gift card. That could be gas cards, grocery cards, you name it. And so we are here to announce that we are doing this effort again. I'm hoping that with the public support, we will surpass that 1/4 ton, and we'll ask that in honor of Chief Moore's birthday that he's celebrating, that we ask the public to participate even more in turning in those illegal fireworks, so that we can all have something even greater to celebrate in the aftermath of the 4th of July. But again, we need the public. There is no public safety in absence of the cooperation of our public. LAPD, fire, they cannot do it alone. And the city is not able to address the over 400 square miles of streets where these fireworks are being utilized. So we're seeking the public's help to do several things. Number one, report these areas and the locations of the incidents where these illegal fireworks are being deployed. LAPD will talk more about the opportunities for you to go online and report that. We want to encourage you to all work with your senior lead officers in your area. Every resident should know who their senior lead officer is at their local LAPD division. We want to remind everyone that the city attorney has announced that he will be prosecuting. They will be going after individuals that have harnessed quantities and are utilizing these illegal fireworks here in the city of Los Angeles. Tragically, we saw the devastating effects of what happens when we have large amounts and quantities of explosives that are harbored in certain neighborhoods. We need to protect the public. We need to protect one another and ensure our public safety. by making sure that we report these locations. The South LA location where we confiscated those explosives came as a result of a tip. And so we're seeking the public's help to continue to identify and get those tips so that we can pursue the individuals that are bringing these materials into our city and selling them off and advancing them to into our neighborhoods that, again, put our seniors, our pets, and our veterans in duress. And so with that, I want to take this opportunity to invite the gentleman who's celebrating his birthday today and is our Chief of Police, Michael Moore.
Councilwoman, thank you very much. Actually, the birthday's on Saturday, but I stopped counting those a while ago. But so good morning, everyone. I want to thank the leadership of Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez, Chair of Public Safety, for not just organizing today, but the innovation of last year, beginning the first of what's now become an annual event of a firework buyback program. I think it's yet another element of a successful strategy that allows LA to be a safer LA. Today I'm here also to thank Annette Ramirez, who's the General Manager of our Animal Services, for their partnership. Fireworks and their detonation in our neighborhoods has an impact, a tremendous impact on our pets. We see thousands of animals that flee, that break away from their yards and other areas, and then become really subject to losing their life because of a lack of care, a lack of someone having control of them. And it's all been prompted by the use of illegal fireworks in their neighborhood. There was also a reference. The 4th of July, the great independence of this great democracy, is a result of the men and women who are in our armed forces, who have fought and protected for this democracy. And we know as they come home also that as we live in Los Angeles, as we approach the 4th of July weekend, and we hear these illegal fireworks being detonated, how it can re-traumatize yet again these veterans and coming back from wars that have left such lasting scars. It's an unnecessary trauma, and we ask again, as we look across Los Angeles, a city of 465 square miles with 4 million people, that has agreed that fireworks in Los Angeles should be only at organized and structured displays such as Hanson Dam, such as over here at the at Shepherd Church of the Shepherd of the Hills, that we look at downtown in South Los Angeles, organized events that families can go, have a wonderful time, have a safe experience, and watch the professionals use pyrotechnics in a manner that does not expose others to dangers and minimizes or eliminates actually the fire risk. So today is about education. Today is about awareness. It's about reminding parents to set the example for their children. Don't pass on the habit that they may have inherited from their parents. Act responsibly. We want our children to grow up and be responsible adults, and then when they watch their parents in front of a house throwing off M80s or lighting up bottle rockets and other things, it's not exactly setting a stamp example. What it's setting is, don't do as I say, but don't do as I do, but do as I say. Reinforce responsible young people by avoiding the purchase and use of fireworks in the city, period. Secondly, recognize that if you purchase fireworks from a neighborhood, from a friend, an associate, you are furthering an underground market that poses a clear and present danger to this city. People are importing thousands of tons of fireworks here from locations from throughout the western United States that are explosive, that are commercial grade and beyond explosives, and that pose real risks to people's safety. Your purchase of them, it may seem as inconsequential, but you're fueling and continue to fuel a market. The only reason those sales exist, the more than 15 tons that we attempted to remove last week or last year in South Los Angeles, the hundreds of pounds that we continue to recover this year, the only reason those exist is the profit margin that's being made by those that are purveying it. So don't contribute to that. The city has established a Safer LA website. It is available by LAPD online, where anonymously, or you can identify yourself, Angelinos can call and report, or can go online and report a resident, a location that may be selling fireworks, or that is their classic location where seemingly each year this individual feels that it's necessary for them to put on a neighborhood display. Each year, this department receives hundreds of calls for illegal fireworks. It overwhelms our 911 call center. That's preventable. Our senior leads, our officers, our fire department are out visiting sites and locations that we know in years past have used fireworks. We'll be doing so this year as well. But Angelenos can help us by calling ahead, by going online and making those reports. Nearly 700 reports have already been made, and Los Angeles Police Department are investigating each and will continue to investigate those reports. Again, it can be done anonymously. It will be done in a manner where we'll door knock and put that resident on notice, depending on the tip or lead. If the person we believe is housing and warehousing materials for sale, we'll go and conduct criminal investigations and pursue criminal prosecutions of those individuals. So awareness, education, go to Safe and Sane and proper commercial displays, celebrations. Let's enjoy the 4th of July. But for those that choose not to, if you have information regarding those individuals, the Los Angeles Police Department, working with our fire department and working with our city attorney, and when appropriate, our district attorney will aggressively pursue criminal prosecutions. Let's avoid that. Let's act as responsible adults, as responsible Angelenos, and let's have a safe 4th of July. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chief. And again, we recognize the imminent fire risk that the use of these illegal fireworks pose to many of our hillside communities. We've seen just recently, we've seen fires that are breaking out as a result of some of the illegal fireworks use. And it's for that reason that LAFD has remained a very strong advocate and proponent to educate the public in encouraging them to refrain from the use of illegal fireworks. And so today we have with us our public information officer, Captain Scott.
Thank you, ma'am. On behalf of Fire Chief Kristen Crowley, we're honored to stand here with Police Chief Moore and Councilwoman Rodriguez and Animal Services to talk to you briefly about the dangers of fireworks and what we see. And so behind me are some of the men and women that will respond to you in your time of need and come to your aid when you need help. And every day the Los Angeles City Fire Department responds to about 1,400 emergency incidents. But on the 4th of July, we respond to an additional 400 plus calls that's on top of our busy daily average. Now, we understand the 4th of July is an excellent time to enjoy and celebrate with families and friends. And we understand that historically fireworks are a big part of that. We get that. But we all see another side that the general public does not see. And that's the significant permanent injuries and the devastating wildfires. And illegal fireworks are responsible for sending thousands of people to the emergency room annually. And 40% of those injuries are actually to the young kids. And everyone knows that a big explosive firework is dangerous, but many are surprised to learn that it's the simple sparkler that equates to about a quarter of the emergency room fireworks related injuries. 25% are from that simple sparkler, and that's because it burns at 1200 degrees. So we're going to put that into perspective. Water will boil at 212. At 350 degrees, you'll bake a cake. You put wood in your fireplace that burns at 575. Glass is going to melt at 900 degrees, and a sparkler burns at 1200 degrees. So let's not hand that to a child and let them think that that is a toy. So this 4th of July, we ask you to think about your neighbors. As was already mentioned, predominantly it's the kids, the pets, and the vets. It's the kids that are historically injured. It's the pets that are scared and run away. And it's the combat veterans that feel like they're back in a war zone. And additionally, of course, our wildfire danger is ever prevalent, and it's only exacerbated by the ongoing drought. Our hillsides are very susceptible to a spark. So one less spark is one less wildfire. We want you to join our team to ensure that. And that's why it's imperative that you and your loved ones go see one of the professional, permitted fireworks shows and talk to your family about the dangers. Let the kids know about the injuries that we see that are permanent and debilitating. And lastly, we ask you to go to LAFD.org and you'll get a full list of the public professional fireworks shows that you and your family can go to celebrate this year safely.
Thank you, Captain Scott. And now I'd like to invite our General Manager of Animal Services, who can speak to some of the traumas that so many of our family pets experience during the course of the use of these illegal fireworks, and that is Miss Annette Ramirez.
Thank you, Councilwoman Rodriguez. I'm very happy to be here today to be able to talk about the impact fireworks can have on pets. This is a time of celebration for many people, but for pets, it can be very terrifying. They don't understand the sounds or the bright lights that they're seeing. They can break through windows and run out into traffic. They can also ingest fireworks, which can be poisonous to them. So it's very important during this time to make sure that your pets are placed in a safe and quiet room or a crate where they can be safe from the festivities and from the fireworks. It's also a great time to make sure that you update your microchip information on your pet and your licensing on your dogs so that if they do become lost and end up in one of our shelters, we can quickly reunite them with your family. I think it's been very clear that Angelenos feel that their pets are part of the family, so it's very important to consider them when joining into these festivities. Another thing that Angelenos can do is this is a perfect time to foster an animal if you don't have a dog at home or you would like to temporarily house one. We have a program called Foster for Life for 4 days. So it's just come to the shelter and take a dog for 4 days, which will make room for other dogs that are coming into the shelter during these holidays. Unfortunately, this is the busiest time of year for animal services due to the number of animals that are terrified due to the fireworks that end up in our shelters. For owners who lose a pet during this time, make sure that you are looking for your pet immediately. You can look on our website at www.laanimalservices.com, where we post photographs of every single animal coming into the shelter. It's also great to use other publications such as Paw Boost or Nextdoor. We also have a LA City Lost and Found Facebook page where people can post animals that they have found in the neighborhood that they have not turned into the shelter yet. So please, when you're out there enjoying your festivities, just make sure that you take consideration of your pet and make sure that they are in a safe place so that they don't become endangered and they don't end up in traffic. Thank you.
Thank you, Annette. And again, folks, we can't really emphasize this enough. For those of us like myself, my little dog Hercules is always traumatized in the evenings when he hears these explosive fireworks in the middle of the evening. And there have been many animals and friends who I know who've lost their pets as a result of the trauma that their dogs have experienced as a result of hearing many of these fireworks. Not to mention, again, the imminent threat that it poses to our wildfire danger in our hillsides, our vets, and the traumas that they've endured and continue to get triggered because of the sounds of these explosions. And so again, we want the public's help to cooperate and work with us to get these illegal fireworks off the street, because the other one of the other items that we didn't mention, but it's something that everyone should think about. You don't always know if you're buying them from a Craigslist or depending on where these items were derived. You don't know the stability of the items that you're purchasing, and it could potentially pose an even greater public safety risk than you might otherwise have believed. And it's for that reason that we want to encourage the public to help us get these items off the street. We have this buyback program as an incentive to help you recover the costs associated with what you've expended in acquiring these items. And let's help make a safer Los Angeles by getting these items off the street. And so it's with that I also want to take a moment to encourage the public to again join one of the many wonderfully organized public free events that we are offering here in the San Fernando Valley and across the city of Los Angeles. I'm proud to announce that here in my district, we are bringing back the Hanson Dam Fireworks Festival, and it won't actually be fireworks this year. Because of a sensitive nature and the imminent fire danger as a result of the drought, we are doing a drone light show. But we are also having a music festival. We are having vendors musicians, and so it's something for the entire family to come out and enjoy at Hanson Dam. It begins at 5 o'clock, goes till 9 p.m. when the drone show begins and then concludes. And so we want to encourage the public to please come out to Hanson Dam on the 4th of July, celebrate it safely with your family in a family-friendly environment, without the noise of the firework explosives and without the imminent fire risk that fireworks pose. And so with that, we're happy to open up for any questions.
Councilwoman, people need to bring a receipt to show me
No.
the apartments.
No.
The other thing is how do you determine the value? How do you determine the value of what they say they spent for what you do?
It's based on the items that they're turned in. So actually, let me give that information too, because we neglected to give that information. The actual buyback date is on July 2nd at Brand Park. Hold on, let me get the... Brand Park on July 2nd from what time to what time? 9 to 1. So from 9 to 1 on July 2nd, we want to encourage the public to come to Brand Park to dispose of their fireworks. They will line up there. LAPD, the fire department, will be there to make sure that they are safely recovering these items that you're seeking to turn in. At the time that you bring these items, they will evaluate based on the quantity and the items that are there and determine the value and give an in-kind gift card.
Quisiera dar un mensaje en español para
Sí.
los medios de...
Okay. Hoy tenemos una recompra de fuegos artificiales. Pedimos el apoyo del público. Necesitamos que entreguen sus fuegos artificiales. El programa es 100% anónimo y los fuegos artificiales son peligrosos para nuestra comunidad, especialmente en áreas de alta gravedad de incendios como en el Valle de San Fernando. A cambio, entregar sus fuegos, le daremos una tarjeta de regalo. El evento es el sábado, el 2 de julio, al 9 en la mañana hasta la 1 en Brand Park in Mission Hills.
Can someone talk about, I mean, obviously these are illegal fireworks that you want people to bring. Obviously these are illegal fireworks that you want people to bring to this buyback. Talk about how they can safely transport them to buyback.
So we ask that the public put the items that they want to return for this to participate in the buyback in their trunk, in the trunk of their cars. At the time they pull up into Brand Park, they will, LAPD and the fire department will collect these items and evaluate them, and then provide the in-kind gift card. And it's all done anonymously. There is no identification collected to participate in this program.
And there's no risk of anybody getting in trouble either for bringing.
We're trying to incent everyone to do this as safely, as responsibly as possible. So we are not collecting any identification information. We're just collecting the items, getting these items off our streets. And so we again ask the public, let them know this is completely anonymous. And we want to encourage them to, again, put it in the trunk of your car. You pull up, open the trunk of your car, LAPD and the fire department will be there to collect these items.
And so if, like, let's say they determine it's like $200 worth of fireworks, if someone can get a $200 gift card.
So they'll, again, at the time, depending on what the items are, right? If you're bringing, $100 worth of snakes.
No, I know, but I'm talking about if it is fireworks, and
Right.
let's say it's $100, $200.
So they will give an in-kind, you're right. So depending on what the quantity and of these items are, then they will evaluate and give an in-kind quantity card.
Gift card, and is it for a range of things?
So we have a variety. We have a number of gift cards that were offered from Target, from gas stations, and we also have, depending on larger quantities, even perhaps tickets to a local amusement park. So we're still in the process of collecting even more, garnering even more giveaways, because we want to provide the greatest incentive for the public to participate in this process. Again, a quarter ton that we collected last year was record-breaking, especially for a first-time event. And so our goal is to far surpass that with the public's help, especially considering the imminent fire risk that we have this year.
And one more question: if the chief or captain can talk about what happens to them once they're brought in.
What happens to what?
The fireworks.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So the question was, what happens when individuals surrender those fireworks and they're given a gift card? The Los Angeles Police Department, our bomb detail, will take those fireworks, those explosives, and will secure them and will transport them from Brand Park to a disposal site for destruction. We are currently doing that each day. We're making seizures across the city based on citizens' tips and leads. And again, and what we just encourage is that Saturday is a great day in which, if you have this cache of these fireworks, bring them to the park, surrender them, get something in kind to perhaps take your family out or go and enjoy a shopping spree, and let's have a safe and sane Los Angeles.
Chief, can you explain why we're seeing so many more incidents involving illegal fireworks? Is it the internet, social media? What's changed? It used to be from Mexico.
Yeah, I don't. The question was, are we seeing an increase, or why are we seeing an increase? I think in the instances of fireworks being used in Los Angeles. I wouldn't say that you're seeing an increase. I just say you're seeing a persistent and recurring nature. The increase has actually occurred over more holidays today than, say, 10 or 20 years ago. But each year we see far too many reported and unreported instances of people using not just safe and sane or commercial grade fireworks, but illegal fireworks, aerial firework displays that are endangering not just themselves but the surrounding neighborhood. The ready availability of people buying it from Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, the underground market, if you will, is a phenomenon that we're seeing with the expansion of the internet, and the internet serving as a marketplace for commerce. So we have a generation that's growing up on that and are using that as a vehicle. The challenge with that is that an individual using that as a resource and as a consumer, they're fueling this market. They're perpetuating the economy of it, because people are literally, the individual who had more than 15 tons of fireworks being stored underneath a tarp in the back of his home at 95-degree weather on the 30th of January, had taken a U-Haul and gone to Pahrump, Nevada to purchase those fireworks and then transport them over the interstate freeways to his home, stored them in his rear yard. And not just were those packaged commercial grade fireworks that were imported from China, but they were homemade pyrotechnics, essentially M1000s, small bombs that he also transported. Those are subject to heat, friction. I'll let the fire department talk about the experts or the bomb squad, but it was a clear and present danger to that community. And it was entirely to resell. The tip and lead that we got was as a community member that was aware that they were selling those fireworks out of their alley. Lastly, that individual is being federally prosecuted for that crime. So anyone out there who sees this as making a quick buck, and far too many people do, must recognize that they face federal prosecution in addition to state charges, and can be held responsible for the actions of what happens to those fireworks to their neighborhood or a purchaser later.
Can you talk about enforcement for people who use them, bought and use them? Who are the police, penalties, and how are you going to catch these people?
So in the city of Los Angeles, the question was, what's the enforcement posture and what are the consequences? This is a city that has a city ordinance that prohibits the use of fireworks of any type of description in the city, period. As was said, these displays that you see at various locations are licensed, permitted displays. They work with the fire department. They ensure that they're safe. There's your commercial operators. For just a homeowner or a resident who purchase these fireworks, they may purchase them at a stand outside the city of Los Angeles in cities that sell safe and sane fireworks regularly. Possession of that is a misdemeanor, and the person who uses it is subject to enforcement. Now, I will ask Angelenos, don't put the police department, don't put these officers in the awkward position of having to mess up your holiday and your event because you decide to go out and buy $300 or $400 worth of fireworks and put on a display in front of your house. Now officers are called because neighbors complain, and we are there, and we're faced with the dilemma of taking enforcement action over a retail purchaser of fireworks. It sets the wrong tone for the Los Angeles Police Department. It's not our desire, but we will enforce it, and the city attorney will enforce consequences for that. And the worst example of all that are all the kids, the young people looking at their parents and watching this action and what the market leaves on their mind of what the police department is doing. The police department is enforcing the law. We're enforcing what the people of Los Angeles have said. Let's honor what we've said. Let's honor the laws that we've put in place.
Is there an enforcement strategy in place for 4th of July specifically? Specific officers going to certain areas?
So we already have our enforcement strategies in place. They began about 3 weeks ago with a firework enforcement plan. We're going to locations that are frequent locations for earlier firework displays, illegal firework displays. We're following up on tips and leads of people who are selling fireworks or somehow have possessions of them. And between now and Monday, you'll see added deployments as a heavy deployment period. We do see that this is a period of increased calls for service, as the fire department indicated, as Eric Scott indicated, both medical calls but also calls for the police department. So we'll have added resources throughout the holiday weekend. And again, we just ask Angelenos to be safe, to enjoy these permitted events, and have a wonderful 4th. But let's do it lawfully. Let's do it in the spirit Angelenos can. Thank you.
And just one thing, just clarifying what you guys are seeking in this buyback, are the illegal fireworks, not those safe and sane, or what are you guys looking for?
All fireworks are illegal in the city of Los Angeles, so whether they're safe and sane, whether they are manufactured at home, they're all illegal and prohibited, and all of these items are eligible for to participate in this buyback program. So we want to get everything that has any kind of explosive or capacity that is used as a firework to get it off our streets, and we're providing this incentive to encourage the public to participate. All fireworks, period. All fireworks, period. So again, we ask the public, come out, Grand Park, July 2nd, turn in those illegal fireworks. We'll get you a gift card, and join us on the 4th of July for a permitted, safe, and fun family celebration at Hanson Dam Park. Go to Shepherd of the Hills in Porter Ranch, and of course Warner Center Park for their annual 4th of July festivities. And with that, if there's any other questions, thank you very much.